welcome to the Mr. Phil Show. I'm Pam Murphy, and this is
Mr. Phil.
Welcome, Mr. Phil.
Yes.
We've got a great night out for you tonight.
Yes.
You're going to be singing for us.
Yes, we are.
We've got Danny Ryan doing some comedy for us.
Yes, we do.
And I'll be singing for you some originals also.
Yes, we're still celebrating the big celebration of
And what's that we're celebrating?
my 20 years from when I started.
Congratulations. That's
Thanks.
a lot of years. Very good.
Yes.
Something to be proud of, 20 years.
You know, it was so funny. I was thinking about it the other day because the date is 7/11/92.
Ah, 7/11's a good date, right?
Well,
where's my husband? I was married on 7/11.
Oh, my God.
By the way. But
Mazel tov.
25 years ago,
Yes.
we just celebrated our 25th anniversary. So congratulations to you on your 20th for the show.
And something I never said to you folks, and I want you to know, 7/11 was double meaning. It struck gold twice in my life. 15 years before that, in 1977, my wife and I had gone that weekend on what was at that time a very big thing that couples used to go on called the Marriage Encounter Weekend.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that was like the greatest weekend of your life. I mean, it took place at a hotel, and they had all the accommodations, and there'd be a clergy man there. Either if it was a Jewish one, it'd be a rabbi and his wife, or if it was a Christian one, it would be a priest or a minister or whatever it was. And there'd be 3 team couples there. And they'd be reading you different presentations about different topics and how it related to them. And then they used to have you write to each other. You'd write to each other for 10 minutes. They give you a question. You'd write about your feelings on this question.
I was going to say, what exactly did you have to write? Because that could be dangerous.
You had to write about your feelings about the question of the topic.
Oh, okay. All right.
You'd split up when you'd write about it. Like you'd either go back to the husband or wife would remain in the conference room, and then the other one would go back to their own room to write. And then after 10 minutes, they'd ring a bell, and you'd go back to your room, and you were told to exchange books and read it twice and then talk about it. They used to call it 10 minutes of dialogue, 10 minutes of reflection. And
we could all learn a lot from that, by the way, I'm sure, right? That's such a
greatest weekend we ever went on.
Very good idea.
And we came off that weekend on 7/11, 77. And that taught us such communication skills, I mean. And the topics would get deeper and deeper as you went on. By the last day of the weekend in the morning, they would give you not just 10 minutes. They gave you something called a 90-90, where you had to write for 90 minutes and then talk for 90 to each other for 90 minutes. And they'd give you a deep topic like, what are my reasons for going on living with you?
Oh.
Yes. And
you would say what? Something like...
You just start writing, and at first, like, they used to play songs before.
Wow, that'd be hard to think of for 90 minutes. That's great, though.
Believe it, you did it.
That's tough.
And that bell rang, and you were still writing. It was.
And you know what? I think the hardest thing when there's somebody you love and you even you're married to your family, it's so hard sometimes just to talk to them. Don't you find that?
Yeah.
And you're right. Communication is so very important. I mean, those are the closest people in your life to you. So that was such a good. So you struck gold with that 7/11.
I struck gold with that because I mean, when they did, that part of that weekend, the 90 and 90. I mean, and what they would do is to get you in the mood, like after they gave their presentation, they'd play a song, and for that 90-90, they used to play "The Impossible Dream."
Oh, I love that song.
Yes,
Dream the impossible dream.
And. I mean, so they'd get you into them, and believe it, you wrote for 90. It was very emotional. I mean, you'd be crying during that whole 90 minutes during that time, and then so this was a 3-hour event, and then after 3 hours, this was so funny. The team couples would be getting everybody out of there, knocking on their doors, whether you were ready or not, and they'd be pulling you out of your rooms. And at that time, they had these little cassette boxes, and they'd be the theme song of the Marriage Encounter Weekend used to be "There's a New World Somewhere They Call the Promised." Remember by the Seekers?
Yep.
That was they'd be playing that, and they'd be teaching you, you'd be singing that, walking through the hallways back to the conference room. I mean, and it was just a great weekend. And then they teach you to continue those skills after the weekend, and they used to have different events and stuff like that. And my wife and I got very active for the next 10 years with that organization. In fact, we were giving presentations ourselves.
Oh, wow.
And we were traveling all over the place. They had conventions and stuff like that. And that was just, one of the greatest times of our life. And we did that for the next 10 years or so. And at the end of the weekend, the very last thing they do, they'd make you wait outside the conference room, and you'd walk in, and they'd have music playing, they'd have seats and all that. And like in our case, the rabbi and his wife were all dressed up in a suit, and you'd walk up there, and they took each couple and renewed their vows.
Oh, how nice is that? How sweet. How many years have you been married to your wife?
40.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
You definitely need some communication skills there.
Yeah,
that is wonderful. Congratulations on that, too.
So that was the first, that was the first 7-Eleven.
And that was about a communication, and now your second 7-Eleven here is also communication.
Yes.
That's great.
Right.
How neat is that?
I mean, it was really something. I mean, that 7-Eleven struck gold twice.
And I struck gold, too, on 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
Got married in 7-Eleven. Wow,
yes,
that is so funny. Good numbers to play, maybe, just saying,
Yes. I mean, and it just seemed so simple that night when I went out to karaoke. And I saw it advertised in the paper. I knew I had done it at a private party and what karaoke was and all that. But then when I saw it advertised, I said, I got to go out and do it. And I went out that night and did 7 songs, and I came runner-up in the contest.
Wow. Congrats.
Yeah,
I remember karaoke got really big. Was it the 1990s, was it, or something like that?
Yeah, this was 1992.
Right? It got really big back then. I remember being out in California and when visiting my brother out at Huntington Beach, and it was huge out there. I mean, seriously, like big-time huge. And so I never got believe it or not, as a singer, I never got the courage to get up and do that. Isn't that funny?
Wow.
I could get up and sing and do things on stage, but the karaoke, I don't know.
And what was really funny, I learned that business so well that not all of them are the same, that they go from, fancy restaurants all the way to little small, bars and stuff like that. And like, in other words, when I came in runner, I would have come in number 1, but one song I didn't know about keys and stuff. So if I would have gotten that one song right, I would have won that contest that night.
Don't you do contests now? I think, right? Didn't you say, what's about this shirt you're wearing? You were telling me earlier.
Karaoke Star Search.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Karaoke Star Search.
Yeah, that was from years ago that they used to have this thing. In fact, this is what led to American Idol, folks. Chartbuster Karaoke used to have the Karaoke Star Search, and they used to start up by going to establishments in each town, city, and then go on to the state finals, and it would work its way into Las Vegas on Labor Day weekend, and it was a televised event. And that's what actually led to American Idol.
Interesting. A little history there. I like that.
That's right. That's what actually led to American Idol.
Speaking of American Idol, this year there's some changes.
There's going to be some changes.
Did you hear that? What's going on there? Do you remember? I think I read something about Steven Tyler not coming back.
And J-Lo.
And J-Lo? Oh,
yeah,
boy.
because they need to go on with
Randy's
their career.
still going to be there, right?
Maybe.
Anybody know? I hope so. I love
Maybe.
Randy.
They may want, I saw another thing, they may want to, have some new people come and don't know if he wants to renew the contract or what. But
so I hear you'd be up for the gig.
Let's put it this way. Joe Franklin suggested.
Right, there you go.
He put me.
You know
so
what?
I said to him, "Are you kidding?"
But the thing is, as a judge, I think you got to remember to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you've been on the other end, you got to be fair in a good way, though. You got to say it so like no one's, no one gets demoted or defeated.
I'd like you to know.
There. You should build a person up
I've done
in a
plenty
certain
of
way. That's how I feel.
I've done plenty of judging. Plenty of it.
Great. I've done it too, but you know what? I think American Idol should learn something from that, right?
Well, I've done plenty of judging, and they call me Simon Phil.
Do they?
Yeah, because I won't insult anybody, but it'll annoy me if, like in the contest I done, somebody just has to do one song, and they just can't get it right because they have time to practice. And I say, people who come on my TV show have to do a whole series of stuff, especially back in the old days. We had karaoke on the show. You see, Pam, back in those days, people used to come on this show and do about 3 songs, and I had a few guests and all. And I say, they got to come on this show and do 3 songs, be interviewed. They're on that.
And be ready to go.
And be ready
prepared.
To go.
Do your homework.
And I said, and most of the time they get it right. I said, here you're only being asked to do 1 song, and you have the words in front of you and all that, And,
which is understandable. Your expectation is they should know it. If they're coming up to do that 1 song, then yeah, that's so true. That's true. I agree. But I got to tell you, nerves might hit sometimes.
Yeah.
That happens to me. When nerves hit, it's like, uh-oh.
Funniest.
You can't breathe. You can't remember the words. Things kind of go. So.
I made a loser out of a winner one time.
What do you mean?
A winner out of a loser.
A winner out of a loser.
This one girl, I was doing a major contest. And they brought me into a private room and showed me her, the woman who was running it. Oh, this girl's going to win. This girl's going to win. She was one of these 13-year-old, little stuck-up, conceited ones. And I said, that's just what I need. I'm watching her and her attitudes and stuff. So I get up there, and I had to address the people and all. And I said, you got the screen in front of you. I allow you to use the screen. In fact, I encourage you. Don't try to be a hero and walk away. I said, because you may know the song. I said, but the version we may have, these words, when you change colors, you have to sing these notes so you don't get ahead or behind the song. Please use it. You don't have to stare at it, but I'm sure you could use good eye contact. And so she gets up there. She's my first singer. She gets up there, and with the screen there, she forgets her words. And
like I said, maybe the nerves. I don't know.
No, just you got up there with the attitude and all that.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So
she wasn't humble.
No, she wasn't humble.
Learn some humility sometimes, right?
Yeah. So I had to tell her my piece. So I waited, I waited until we were away from everybody, and then I.
Oh, see, that's good.
I gave it to her then.
Because sometimes you're right, and sometimes you got to do that by example. Lead by example.
Yeah, and I told everybody. I'll bring the top 10 onto this show and all that. I have a TV show. Of course, everybody look, wow, being on TV. And I mean, she walked off the stage crying.
Oh,
and then
see, that's sad.
You're right. But then I told, I said, didn't I ask you to please look, why didn't you listen to me? That I'm telling you. So I gave her a second chance to try again. She ended up winning the contest unanimously.
Oh, that was nice.
And then I brought her onto the show and all that, and she even did my anniversary show with me that year.
Well, there you go. So you taught her something about being a performer. Being a performer in the sense of, like I said, being humble and, not coming in with an attitude, but be prepared, and that's good.
That's why I think that if they gave me American Idol to do, I would...
So hear that, community? Maybe there should be like a petition up on Facebook or something.
I would teach
Phil
him.
for American Idol judge. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Wow, that would be fun. That would be great. I'd tune in. We'd all tune in.
Yeah.
All 5 million viewers, we'd all tune in.
But besides vocals, I would teach him also about, keeping it down, about attitude and stuff like that. That, you could be up there one day and one-hit wonders and all that.
Yeah, this industry, you know how it is.
Yeah, just like, look what's happened with a lot of these people who won. I can't even remember a lot of their names.
No, I was just thinking about that, too. I was like, who won last year? The guy, what was his name? Phil?
Philip Phillips.
Phil Phillips. There you go.
Yeah.
See? I can picture who he is, so I'm hoping he comes out with some good stuff so we can hear him.
Right.
We hope that's what comes out of it. Some good music, right?
Right.
So.
Of all names.
I know, right? I'm like, I got to remember that one.
Philip Phillips.
So, yeah. So 20 years ago, I'm trying to remember, 20 years ago, I actually started my conservatory, too.
Wow.
My Hudson Valley Conservatory that I'm at, I started that exactly 20 years ago also. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
I just remember, I'm like, you know what? Come to think of it, we do music, dance, and drama, and I'm doing some shows there myself coming up that I'm going to get to talk about tonight, right?
That's
I'm going to talk about my shows that I'm in. My business partners, Sam and Mandy, right? And they are doing some shows at the conservatory called the Murder Mystery Summer Series at the New Rose Theater. And we have the rehearsal, which is July 20th and 22nd, so that's coming up. I was supposed to be in that. I was going to play Madame Nusufant, but unfortunately ended up going to the hospital and having some surgery. I'm good. It's all good. Yeah. So they took me out of it. I'm in the second one, the Bingo Murders, August 3rd through the 5th. So if you want to come see me, I play Alimap. That's my name, Alimap. And if you look at it, it's Pamela backwards.
Oh,
That's
wow.
my real character name in it. And, of course, the third one is You Can't Cheat, August 17th through the 19th at the New Rose Theater, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you can call area code 845-778-2478 for any tickets or any information. We'd love to have you come and visit. It's a local theater. It's in Walden. It seats about 210 people. It's tiny. You know, it's a little black box theater. But I'll tell you what, we've got some wonderful things going on there. So I'd love you all to come and watch. It would be wonderful. Yeah. Thank you.
Wow.
And I do music there, by the way. That's where, you hear me talk about the stuff that I write.
Yes.
And I have kids perform it. My students perform it. My Hudson Valley Singers and my conservatory kids, they all come and they sing. And all the camp kids there, I want to say hi because they know I'm going to be on. They're doing Godspell right now.
Wow.
And they're going to be performing that next weekend.
Wow, that's great.
Can you believe it? Yeah, so we're doing that.
That's great.
And so 20 years ago, that's what I was doing.
Wow.
So, doing something in Walden, you're doing something here in Port Jervis, but it goes out to how many viewers? 5 million, we said?
Wow.
That's incredible.
See, vocal teachers I've had like my cantor from my synagogue. Then I had this one woman from Pine Bush, Heather Van Dam.
I know Heather Van Dam.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I studied with her and worked with her. Then I had Sarah D.
Yep, Sarah D's from Walden.
Yeah, she's from
Walden.
There
you go. That's where I'm from. Yep.
Yep. And but I'll tell you who I really learned a lot from, and that's my own co-host, Lori.
You were telling me, Lori. She's a wonderful singer.
Yeah.
She sang, last time I came, remember, she was singing, warming up her opera voice. Gorgeous, beautiful, powerful. Little tiny thing, powerful voice.
Yeah, she is. That's, that's why she's not here tonight. She's in the show tonight.
Oh, what is she doing?
She's in this Rogers and Hammerstein show.
Oh, wonderful. Well, break your leg, Lori.
Yeah,
we're wishing you luck.
Yes, so I'm saying she's the one who really tuned me up.
Wow, that's great. I mean, you always need those people in your life. My girlfriend, Debbie, helped me get started with writing my music and getting it out there. She said, you know what? You got to do it. Yes. I love my family, and we always, we do things ourselves. And I said, you know what? I've had my 3 children, Mike, Sean, and Timmy. It's time to do something for me.
Yes.
And so my husband bought me my piano for my birthday, my kids, and said, go ahead, do what you got to do. And they're lugging my stuff to my events. And my girlfriend, though, like you said, your friend Lori, my girlfriend Debbie inspired me to get going and do it.
Right.
Get in a recording studio and stop, stop thinking about it. Just get out and do it. You said like your song, The Dream one.
Yes.
You got to follow your dream.
Follow your dream.
You did. That's what we all need to do.
Right. And I want to say something. 20 years ago when I entered this, started going to karaoke. Okay, the first night was just like a little local bar. But the second time out was the very interesting story. That's where I went to what I call the Yankee Stadium of Karaoke Singers, which means the best of the best.
Oh.
That's why I said, I'm judging by
that.
Yeah. By the ball team. I mean, these were like karaoke singers that should have been professional singers. And they used to follow this group around called Karaoke Joe and Company. All around the Hudson Valley. They used to have a calendar, and they used to sometimes play 3 places in one night, different DJs and stuff. And I went to a group that was like the tops of the tops. And it was a show just to sit there and listen to them alone. You know, if I had the show
Sounds
then,
exciting.
Yeah, we would have had some great shows back then. So I was just starting out, and I wasn't one of the great ones. And I was just out there having fun and all that, never expecting anything to become of it. They were all looking, hoping that somebody would come in, listen to them and stuff like that and pick them up. I never thought about that, you know. And they asked me, what are you doing this for?
You were doing it for the enjoyment, right?
The enjoyment.
The love of it.
Yeah. Whoever thought the miracle would take place, where I'd be the one from that place to take it to where I did.
And to bring all those people on to your Mr. Phil show, right?
Right.
That's wonderful. That's great. What a great story that is.
That's right. You know? Just 4 years later, when the show was first born, I'm the one taking these people
to different levels. That's great. And they're probably, I'm so excited to be on the Mr. Phil show. That's wonderful.
Right.
Oh, good for you. That's wonderful.
So why don't you go up there now and...
Great. I'm going to do a song entitled Eternally.
Okay.
All right. And this one of the first songs I ever wrote, actually.
Wow.
So I hope you like it.
Okay.
I feel I got one more if you want to hear it. Okay, so this is so very different for me. Very different. This is called Danger. And it's about, well, you just got to hear it. I'm going to get you to hear it. See if you like it. danger. Thank you. So watch out, danger.
Oh, maybe you are dangerous.
Thanks, Phil. Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna get Danny up here. He's got something. We
have a comedian that we're going to bring on,
yes,
Danny
a
Ryan.
comedian.
Yep.
He's got
and Danny's going to do some jokes for us. And
well, he's got some
else?
other stuff.
He's got some other stuff.
We got a surprise.
Okay. Welcome, Danny. Oh, hi. How are you, Danny? Nice to meet you. I'm Pam.
Thank you. How you doing?
You going to come sit?
Yes,
okay,
yeah.
Good.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So where are you originally from, by the way?
Well, my family is New Yorkers. I lived in California for 22 years. My family moved up to Monroe. 5 of my brothers and sisters were born in Queens. And
Did you say 5?
5, and then I was born in Newburgh, the ghetto, right? And then no, I'm kidding. My brother was born up here too. So, and then my parents were from Brooklyn, and we always spent time in the city as kids, Rockaway Beach all the time. I mean, it was. I just had a combination of Monroe and Queens back and forth, and it was a wonderful childhood. I think that my parents moving to Monroe was the best thing they could have done. I mean, it just seems like I see how my cousins were raised down there, and it was fun. There's no place probably more fun to grow up than in New York City, but it's gotten a little different now, and I think I'm kind of glad I live up here, you know? I mean,
right.
Beautiful up here.
It's a little different than the city used to be. I mean, there's some wonderful people up here. All my best friends grew up down there in the Bronx and Brooklyn, and they moved up to Monroe when they were kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, like my brothers and sisters always talk about, they remember the family living down in Queens, and I'm like, what was that like? 7 kids. My mother had 7 kids. All right.
Wow.
My family, we had 6. How many in your family?
Just 2.
2? That's still just 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Just 2.
I was telling
4
Phil.
in yours. Okay.
I also had a show just like this in L.A. called The Danny Boy Show.
The Danny Boy Show. Oh, oh, Danny Boy, the pipes.
It was a lot of fun. I got to do what Phil does. I produced it. I got with the editors, and you know, I spent a lot of time working on the show, writing the show, having guests come on.
Right.
To me, it was the best experience I could have had. I mean, in my world, I was David Letterman and Jay Leno.
All comedy acts, or what?
I was a combination of Letterman and Leno, and it was. I would have actors, struggling people. A lot of my guests were actually living in their car and going through some hard times.
I believe it.
Wow.
And I would say, "Oh, you're living in your car?
It's a
No
tough
problem.
business.
Come on my show."
That's okay.
I'd say, "Come on my show if you're living in your car." I would kind of tell anyone who's a struggling actor in Hollywood, I would have them on as a guest because I felt bad, you know. And then I would take them for a meal. We would eat afterwards.
Right.
So, depending on the guest, some guests I had to pay in marijuana, you know. I mean, you know, whatever I could do. If I can get you a burger at Burger King, what do you need, a nickel bag? Here you go. I mean, anything. I got so many performers to come on, and they all had different requests. Some of them didn't want money. They were like, I was like, well, I have my limits.
You know what I get a kick out of? In New York City, sometimes I've been to these classes,
Right.
you know, like these, when I was studying commercial, I used to go down and order a lot of classes and stuff like that.
Okay.
Different commercials, acting, on camera, this and that. So you'd walk into these rooms there, and you see all the struggling actors that made themselves look like they were really out there.
Yeah, well, it's a tough business, and if you don't know anyone, I mean, my father was a truck driver from Brooklyn, and I just didn't have the connections in Hollywood that a lot of kids had, you know. I mean, as I said, Chris Penn was at my wedding, right? Sean Penn's brother. We were friends before he passed away. Chris was in a lot of movies, The Funeral, Reservoir Dogs, Rush Hour, a lot of people remember. But even Chris used to say he was lucky because his dad was, you know, in showbiz. His dad directed Star Trek. His dad directed Kojak.
Right.
You know, it kind of helps. My dad drove a truck out of Brooklyn. I mean, you know, it's just
my father worked in the
helps.
post office.
Some good material, right?
Yeah.
great material. I had a great family.
Do you use like the actors that you said bring on your show? Do you use any of their like voice inflections or something about them? Do you use that in your own show? Like, would you use that as material?
No, but you know what? I got into filmmaking out there, and if you want to go on to see a film I made, it's on YouTube under the Kalamazoo short film. It's 35 minutes long. I got a friend from Sony Pictures to help me edit it and add some stock footage in. So anybody who wants to go to YouTube, there's a million Kalamazoos because it's a city in Michigan, right? But what you have to do is go into the Kalamazoo short film and it's in 4 parts, 10-minute parts, and it came out pretty good. Some of the music they cut out. I think the first part you can hear it all throughout, because I was using Sinatra, the Rolling Stones, the Bee Gees. My friend goes, "You got a $5 million soundtrack. You can't use that in a movie." I said, "Oh, yes, I can." And I put it on YouTube, and they left a lot of it on there. If you watch the first 10 minutes of the movie, you'll hear the Bee Gees, the Rolling Stones, and you'll see the Sony stock footage.
So what exactly did you do in the movie? Tell me about
I
it.
played the lead character, a struggling entertainer who comes to Hollywood, ends up living in his car.
Oh.
So,
true story.
Exciting. All right.
Well, I want to enter it in film festivals. We didn't shoot it on HD, so now the thing is everybody shoots on HD today. So I kind of feel like, well, it was shot on a 3-chip camera. It was shot on a good camera.
Right.
But it wasn't HD. So, you know, I mean, we could probably clean it up a little bit. But I'm moving on. I'm making other films. My next film, because my father was a World War II veteran, my next film I want to work on is a documentary where I'm going to interview all the veterans.
What a great idea.
The World War II veterans.
Because I'll tell you,
they're dying
there's
off.
not too many left. You should do that immediately. That would be such a great...
We're making it a priority.
idea. Yeah.
We're going to go everywhere from upstate. I'm a member of the American Legion, so I'm going to interview as many veterans as I can.
Right.
And I just want to hear what they have to say. Some stories about, you know, because that was the greatest generation, like the book said. That was those people. I mean, this country wouldn't be here today, or we'd all be speaking German or something. I don't know, maybe.
Ich spreche Deutsch.
I mean, if it wasn't for the people of World War II, that generation. And then I was telling Phil I was on Love Connection also out in Hollywood.
Wow.
That was an experience. When you have a few million people, that's a little bit of a different than my public access show. It was fun. I had a girl from Georgia date me. She had the Georgia accent like this. And she said, "Well, Chuck," Chuck said, Chuck Woolery, of course, said, what did you think of her Georgia accent?" I said, "Well, I felt like I was with a female Gomer Pyle." Because she kept saying, "I got a surprise for you tonight." No, but the thing is, she showed up to the date with a hickey. My one Love Connection appearance.
Are you serious?
And the date shows up with a hickey.
Wow.
Yeah, so... I mean, you have a clip of that.
That's not a good way to start
I gave
off,
Phil a
no.
clip. If you want to show the clip, you're welcome to show the clip. Also, the Danny Boy Show. You know, I just had a lot of fun shooting films and having fun out there because I knew, I mean, I'm in Hollywood. I had to at least give it a shot.
Here we go.
Where you hear all the intimate details of a first date. And now, here's your host, Chuck Woolery.
She enjoys horse races, car races. She was born in Alabama, raised in Georgia. Describes herself as a Southern belle, but she says that her dates have nicknamed her Radar. Please welcome Maggie Lane. Well, you have the world on your ears, Maggie. Radar, where'd that come from?
I have a bad
Called her
habit
Radar.
of anticipating what somebody might need even before they know that they need it themselves. This could be in business. It can also be in a relationship. I mean, even little things like I would get up to the kitchen, get something to drink, be walking out, and the guy say, "Excuse me, honey, could you bring me something to drink?" And it's like, "Here."
Oh.
So just,
I don't think that's what they had in mind.
That too.
Let's bring everybody up to date on what happened yesterday. We showed the audience Maggie's 3 choices. They voted on which one they thought would be best for her. Take a look and catch you up to date. First, there's Skip. He avoids nitpicking women and redheads. And I guess the worst combination would be a nitpicking redhead. Danny claims that his dates don't need to be beautiful just as long as they're not eyesores. Ray thinks that he'd get more dates if he got a nose job. Audience vote was recorded yesterday. Get that a little later. Right now, Maggie's going to remind us who she chose.
I chose Danny.
Chose Danny? She's backstage, so Danny won. Hi, Danny. Are you going to drink? You just make yourself at home back there, and Maggie will get us started.
So we made our plans, and I went and picked Danny up. It was about noon. It was a really one of the really pretty days. And I could tell from the phone conversation he was a little bit antsy about exactly what I looked like, since I had the benefit of knowing what he looked like.
Yeah, and what'd you think when she showed up?
Well, when she showed up, Chuck, I was surprised. I mean, she had neon shorts, which were very short, and she had a thin, very thin halter top, and she had a nice round butt, which I like, a bubble butt. You know, I mean, some women don't have butts at all. I mean, you know, some people have like nothing, and some people have butts. I was very impressed. I was impressed.
Well, that's enough butt talk. Okay.
So we had a nice fanny, too.
Oh, good, good. Now what happened?
Well, we drove down to the beach, and we had lunch in this little restaurant. And we wound up in this little eclectic bookstore, really neat little bookstore. And he kind of wandered over into the basketball section, which is one of his absolute favorites. And then he kind of snuck up behind me and gave me a little kiss on the cheek, which was a nice icebreaker.
Now, what prompted you to do that?
Well, she was in the murder... I said, what type of books do you enjoy? And she said, I'm into murder mysteries. So I thought, you know, you crazy woman, you. I don't know. I went over to the sports section. I was reading I got a book on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's life story, and I was kind of busy in that. I noticed at one point where she had bent over to pick up a book, and every guy in the whole bookstore was like, you know, looking up. So, you know, I was charging tickets. I was charging them $1.50 to look.
Everybody else got interested in murder mysteries.
Amazing.
Yeah, so now what happened?
Well, we decided we were going to have dinner, and I took Danny home, and I went home and changed into my PM attire, and a couple hours later, he showed up to...
PM attire?
Evening.
Oh, evening, I'm sorry.
Evening attire. And then...
How was that now? Was it, you got neon shorts and a small, thin halter top?
Chuck, Chuck, you talk about the element of surprise. Her evening attire was definitely more seductive than the daytime attire. It was... She had a very short mini skirt, and again a halter, which kind of pushed everything out there, you know. And in fact, I mean, most of the time I was with her, I was trying to cover her up. Other guys were trying, you know, she was causing a commotion.
Yeah, I was well aware of that.
Yeah, I bet. So now what happened?
So we went to dinner. Very nice little Italian restaurant. Danny has a very healthy appetite, so that was good. And it was, you know, it was nice. We had a little wine over dinner, holding hands, and then we decided to go dancing. So we drove up the coast. You know, it's beautiful out in Malibu.
Right.
Got to the place. It was a little cold, so coming in, Danny, being the gentleman that he is, put his jacket around me, so it was, you know, it was nice and warm until we got in there. And then we danced a while, and then we decided to move upstairs by the window where it was a little more cozy, a little more romantic. I mean.
And now tell me about the club. How's she doing at the club there, Danny?
Well, again, Chuck, I was charging $1.50 for the people to look. $1.50 a person. There was a long line of guys. She was sitting down with this skirt that was very short. No, she looked very, very seductive. The club was very romantic because it was right on the ocean. And you could see the waves breaking, actually, as you're sitting there on the couch. There were couches along the window, which were right near where the waves were breaking.
Yes.
Very romantic. I mean, I was very impressed with her behavior. And then I noticed she didn't really have, well, let's just say she wore a French-cut bathing suit underneath the miniskirt, you know? And that, I mean, you know, when your hand starts sliding and it doesn't feel anything but skin for a long time, I started wondering, you know... I started wondering...
What's happening here?
We were having a blast.
Well, yeah.
Well, we closed the place down and decided it was time to go. Went back to my house, and love story happened to be on. So we watched that. There were a few more kisses here and there, and then Danny kind of realized that, you know, first dates have to end, and it was time for him to go.
Well, Chuck, I said, you know, I better go. Yeah. That was about it. But I had a great time. I was very impressed with her.
Sounds like it. Let's take a look and see what the audience picked for you. Holy cow, they picked race 79%. Well, it wasn't you, it was another audience, but that's a lot, my gosh. Well, of course, you can take the audience's vote and go out with Ray, and we'll pay for it. If not, you're on your own.
This is the first New Yorker I've ever been out with, and I think I'd rather go out with him again.
That was fun to watch.
It was fun. You know,
I'm
not allowed to bring this up around my wife.
What
22 years ago.
22 years ago. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, my mother was still alive. God rest her soul.
Yeah.
My mother wanted to know what a bubble butt was when she called me. You know, she said, everyone's calling. All the relatives are calling. They saw you on TV. What the hell is a bubble butt? I was like, oh, she was mortified because she was very religious, and
Right.
my father, he didn't even want to talk to me. I saw the show. I don't want to talk to you. All right, what the hell? Get a job, for Christ's sake. Get a job. But it was a great experience. Nothing tops going out there to LA and doing what you want to do. I mean, when I tried for the show, there was like hundreds of people trying for Love Connection. I didn't think I'd get a call. I went home to Santa Monica. Phone rang. We want you to come on the show. I said, oh, great. And then, then she called, and then I was like, what do you look like? What do you look like? What am I getting into
She's very
here?
pretty, yeah.
Are you under 400 pounds? Shouldn't matter. It's only,
Right.
I know.
Wow.
It's what's inside. I just wanted to know if I needed to put the seat back a little bit.
Wow.
And the Danny Boy show was the other great experience that I enjoyed. My one show, I think you have a clip of the St. Patrick's Day show because I am Irish. And,
Right.
And I was very proud of that show because I was living in my car when we shot it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, struggles beyond struggles, but you don't want to come off like that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It was St. Patty's Day. All I knew was I was one tough Irish SOB, and I mean, the show must go on.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the local gas station, washed up, brushed my teeth, and
did the show.
And the St. Patty's Day show went on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you have a clip of that show. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it.
And you said something to us about.
There we go.
Here it is. Here's a clip.
That's where I lived in Santa
Oh,
Monica.
I love this music.
Santa Monica
Danny
Beach.
Boy show. Here we
That's
go.
the beach I lived on.
Yep.
Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, that's a sin. I won't ever slack up, punk, you better back up. Try and play the role and you're the whole crew will act up. Get up, stand up, come on, put your hands up if you got the feeling. Jump up, touch the ceiling, monks, let's up on floor. Someone's fucking jump, yeah, I'll bust them in the eye. And then I'll take the bumps, feeling funky. Amps in a trunk and I got more rhymes than this cops at a junkie donut shop. Sure enough, I got props from the kids on the hill with my mom and my pops. I came to get down, I came to get down. So get out your seat and jump around, jump around, jump around, jump around, jump up and get down. Jump, 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 jump.
Welcome to the Danny Boy Show. We got a great show for you today. Thank you, and welcome to the Danny Boy Show.
It's okay.
You know what? Tell them to go to the.
We're very excited to have the St. Patrick's Day show tonight. I have my Happy St. Patrick's Day cup.
Oh, that was great. That was a lot of fun. So that's a show you did out there.
Yeah,
Excellent.
You got to see this guy. He calls himself Frank Amnacha.
Okay.
Right.
And alias, his real name is Steve Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
And he's great.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out, I saw him on the streets in Santa Monica. He puts on the hat, the whole get up.
Right.
He looks like Frank Sinatra. He kind of actually looks like a Sinatra. He kind of looks like him. He's a Jewish guy from Texas. And when I heard him sing, I was like, you sound just like Sinatra. And he was making a lot of money. I mean, people were coming around. I mean, the summer wind comes blowing in. Once you got that Sinatra voice, you could make a lot of money.
Right.
So then he did this song called Goodbye L.A. or L.A.C.A. It's the same tune as New York, New York by Sinatra, but it's L.A.C.A. And what he's saying is, I got to get out of this town, all right? He said, I got to go get my backbone back. because, and it's hysterical. And he wrote it himself, and you do have that song. It's funny.
Can you tell me the difference between the business of show business in L.A. as to New York?
I haven't done that much down in New York City. When I lived in the city, I worked on Wall Street, and I was pretty straight-laced. And then I did get told by everyone that I should go out to Hollywood and be a comedian because I hung around the copy machine entertaining everyone,
Right.
You give me 3 cups of coffee and it was on. It was like, hey, how was your weekend? All right, how was your weekend? And they were like, Jesus Christ, this guy needs to go to Hollywood. So I did. I took their advice.
Right.
But I did 5 years of working on Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
And I say did like it was a prison sentence because it was. I mean, I had this cubicle and I had to stay inside my cubicle.
What is your ambition now? You said something about going looking for theaters now.
I'm writing my first book, which I'm excited about. I've written 7 feature-length screenplays, all at least 190 to 110 pages, and they're sitting under the beds. Some of them are very good. My wife will attest to that. She likes. There's one in particular that she really enjoys. But I'm writing my first book about my Hollywood years and just growing up and some of the funnier stuff that happened to me. So I remember everyone used to say to me, "Why don't you write this stuff down? Why don't you write this stuff down?" So I'm writing a book.
We got something.
A singer right now. I have a very good singer here by the name of Frank Amnacha, alias Steve Epstein. Frank is going to perform. Which one, Frank?
This song ain't about New York, New York. This is
You're going to love this song,
LACA.
okay?
Los
Just
Angeles,
do it,
California.
Frank. You're the man. Go ahead.
Well, hit it. Make sure it's loud enough for me to hear. A little louder than that. Like I said, this ain't about New York, New York. This is about Los Angeles, California. LACA. Stop spreading my cheeks. I'm leaving today. I want to be a vertebrate. Get my backbone back. Goodbye, LA. I'm all out of schmooze. For bus boys with screenplays, every one of them. This showbiz town so counterfeit, LACA. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't shake. When my house slides off a hill, tends to keep me awake. The ground here it moves, but not the freeways, which makes it tough to dodge bullets. LACA. If you wanna get famous here, expect to kiss a lot of rear, less daddy's rich. LACA. It's called nepotism, folks. That's what this town runs on. Just ask Tori Spelling. LACA. I want to wake up with a girl without plastic. It's that won't ask, are you someone? Been in any hits? What do you drive? Got any coke? Clothes, colors you choose can get you blown away by my dear friends, the Bloods or Crips. LACA. I'll get me a John Deere, a cat hat, long neck beer. I'm out of here. LACA. What? My agent's on the phone. Now, stick around a little while longer.
Wow.
Wow, that was exciting.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a great professional.
He's an offspring of both Frank Sinatra and Jerry Lewis.
Doesn't he look like it? I mean, he has the voice.
Looks
he
a
has the
little
look.
like you too.
Well, Jerry Lewis is one of my heroes growing up. And that's kind of what you remind me of, Phil. Except you're better
Right?
looking. You're better looking than Jerry. But my favorite movie with Jerry Lewis is King of Comedy, where De Niro plays the comedian. Did you ever see it?